Hey, what's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, and all those things. It's morning for me. I did not sleep well. I tend to struggle to get good sleep in general, but last night was especially difficult. Sometimes I get really bad nightmares, like really bad nightmares. Um, and it sucks because it's like, fuck, man, I'm so exhausted. I just want to sleep. And then by the time I finally get to sleep, if I have one of these horrifying nightmares, then I wake up and then I'm actually afraid to go back to sleep because it's not like they're just bad dreams. It's like they're really bad dreams that get really bad, and then I reach a moment in the dream where I realize I'm dreaming. And then I try to wake up. And so I'm like in the dream, horrible things are happening. But I'm aware. I'm like, this is a dream. You need to wake up. And so I start actually trying to force myself awake, and I get caught in like a weird loop, where I'm still in the dream and the dream is still happening. But I'm also aware that it's a dream, and I become aware of my body, like my actual physical body, and I become aware of like the actual struggle of trying to wake up. Like I'm actually trying to move my body. And so you get locked in this weird thing. And I think that's what night terrors are. Like a weird mixture of half awake, half asleep and dreaming. You become trapped, you become paralyzed, and you become trapped. And it's a horrifying thing. So when that happens, then I eventually wake up, but I get in this weird cycle of like anxiety of like, shit, I can't go back to sleep or else that'll happen again. And it's horrifying. And so, yeah, so that's what's going on. I woke up a couple hours ago, and it was horrifying. So I'm tired. So I got a couple hours of sleep last night, and that sucks. And I don't know. I think it's probably stress related. I'll go for long periods of time without it happening at all, and then I'll go through a period of time where it happens often, very, very frequently. So that sucks. But anyway, I'm tired. I feel like shit. I look like shit. You could probably see I'm not looking my best for those of you who are watching this. But anyway, I'm sitting here. It is morning, chronologically morning, but actually it's not morning yet. No one in the house is awake. The sun is not up. My neighbors, some of them are waking up and leaving to go to work. I have my front door open and the screen door is closed, so I can sit here in my office and listen to the outside, the wind rustling, blowing the leaves across the sidewalk. And I like it when the birds start to wake up. The birds usually start to wake up right around dawn. So that's really cool. That'll happen here pretty soon, actually. So I think I'll take my tea out onto the little front porch and sit with the birds as they greet the sun. But before all that, I'm sitting here working, reading, writing, I don't know, working. I'm working, right? I'm writing. I'm also reading and stuff. And I don't know. We're trying something. So yesterday I posted a note on Substack. Actually, here, let me pull this up. We'll do it here. God damn it. I had this nice and set up for reading. Now I gotta change it because we're actually looking at stuff. Let's see. Bing bong, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home, swing low. Whatever, that's good enough, right? Sure, why not? Let's go to Substack. I don't know. I wanted to talk about this because whatever, I'm talking about this. Yesterday I posted a note on Substack, and let's see. Okay, here's the original note. And I want to talk about this because it bothers me. So here's the original note I posted yesterday. It was as I was publishing a podcast episode. I came on Substack, and usually when I come on Substack to publish a podcast episode or an essay or a short story or something, I will scroll through the notifications, or not the notifications. I will scroll the homepage or whatever. That's usually the only time I scroll the homepage is when I'm doing something. And the last couple times I've been on Substack, I've seen just a bunch of silly shit, silly posts that are just like desperately performative, and it's annoying. It is very annoying. Like, you can't deny that it's annoying when people do these like grand performative gestures, like these conspicuous acts of look how brave I am, or look how smart I am, or look how something I am. I'm not like other girls. Look at me. I'm so special. I'm so unique. I'm so smart. I'm so important. Whatever. Like, I don't believe anybody who says that's not annoying. Like, that's just, yeah, it's just annoying. We get annoyed when we see people overdoing it in this way, doing try hard behavior, right? Blowing the spot up, being a hot boy, making it weird. Like, there's a way to go about making bold statements. And it involves a certain like distance or detachment. Like, you have to be cool. But I think the overwhelming majority of the time when we are making bold, grand proclamations, we fail to pull it off. We lack the nonchalance. And we look silly, right? We're doing the try hard thing. And yeah, we all recognize it. We all get annoyed by it. Yet we also all do it sometimes as well. So the last few times I've been on Substack, I've seen these really grand performative tweets or notes or whatever. And that stuff is just annoying. And I'm not trying to like see that stuff all the time. Why am I not trying to see that stuff all the time? I don't know, because it bothers me. And I don't want to be in this mindset of like angry and annoyed at people. And I think that's like the majority of what goes on the internet. That's just it. It's people being annoying, and then people being annoyed in reaction to the annoying people. And that's worthless. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to take part in that. And I don't want to subject myself to that. So for the most part, I just avoid it. And I think I've had a lot of success with that in general. But sometimes, sometimes I got to be the guy too, right? Sometimes I have to be the one to do the thing that I'm complaining about. That's just the way it is. So I went on Substack and made a little note that was doing this kind of grand, bold, performative statement. And it was like the grand, bold, performative disavowal of grand, bold, performative statements. So I said I was never on Twitter because I didn't see any reason to be. It was largely just a woke circle jerk. Then it became largely just an anti-woke circle jerk. I get it. I'm not hating. Sometimes you just got to blast a fat one with your homies in full view of anyone who feels like looking. That's why I never went on there. Fair enough, right? I think it's like that. Oh, that's the norms of the internet. That's how people act on the internet. I'm just not going to go on the internet that often. I'm not that kind of guy. That's not how I want to act. It's not my jam. And then I say, the thing is, I am here on Substack, and I see a whole bunch of whack, performative, circle jerky bullshit, and I'm not trying to kick it with you remedial losers. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe a lot of you actually just suck. Maybe it's a bit of both. Either way, I just want to smack so many people right now, and I don't like the fact that logging into this platform, which has become a large part of my life of late, makes me feel this way. Get good, dipshits. And, of course, that's the meme. And immediately after posting this, I was like, yuck. Sure, maybe there was a bit of like payoff, a bit of cash in, maybe. But also I was fully aware of like, well, that's fucking stupid. But then I went on to finish whatever it was I was doing. I was publishing an episode of my podcast. And then I went back to my life. I went and actually hung out and ate some burritos and watched TV and chilled. Yeah, that was it. And then this morning when I got up, and yeah, I really feel like shit. Actually, I have a huge headache right now. But this morning when I got up, I had a bunch of notifications like I do. Normally have a bunch of notifications in the morning because I leave my phone in my office when I'm done working for the day. When I'm done working for the day, I leave my phone in my office. And it's amazing. I love doing it. It's wonderful. I fucking love it. And then when I get up in the mornings, I have a bunch of notifications, and I get around to checking them. And it's usually fine. And I usually, go and have a day and be productive and do my thing, and it's usually awesome. But this morning, I came down, checked my notifications. It was cool. Blah blah blah. It was whatever. I think I replied to a couple messages at like fucking 2:30 a.m. And then I started working. And then at some point I got some notifications. I just got one right now. At some point I got some notifications that someone had responded to this note, and I was like, oh, this is probably going to be annoying. Because it was an annoying note that I made. Like I did the thing that I am complaining about in the fucking note. Like I'm aware of that. Like by saying I'm so annoyed by people who do this thing. Like I did the thing myself. I'm aware of it, dude. So then this guy, Matt Vaughn, responded, and I am aware of Matt Vaughn, and I think we've interacted before. I know at least I've liked some of the notes I think you've posted, or some of the posts you've stacked or restacked or whatever. I'm aware of your name, and I'm under the impression that I have a good impression of you. So Matt Vaughn responds and says, I hate to be a stickler here, but I just never understood how and why people give hate to social media sites such as this. I mean, the critique of social media is that it's an echo chamber, meaning social media is designed to only see the people you want to see. If you don't want to see circle jerks of any kind, why are you looking at them? This curious response, which you have done here, is why I have an annual tradition, 10 years on Facebook. Every April 1st, I post that I'm leaving social media for various reasons. The bit is that I change the reasons every year, but every year the underlying theme is the grievance you have given. In other words, this place has turned into something bad. I'm leaving, which is not at all what I was saying, Matt. It's a good time, even though I've done it for 10 years. I fool people every year, sometimes the same folks I fooled the year before, and since you raised these questions, when I see posts like this, I do see you as part of the problem. No offense meant. I'm sure you're a great guy, but I see it so much of a problem that I have been mocking this mindset for 10 years with my April Fool's joke. And I like that. I was like, yeah, haha, funny, sure. I don't give a shit about you. I don't give a shit about Facebook. I don't care about this. But I gave it a heart because, yeah, it is absurd. And I am being part of the problem and doing the thing that I'm complaining about. But the part of the problem, like the problem isn't, oh, I disagree with these people. Like that's not the fucking problem, dude. The problem is my attunement to the platform, to the media. Like that is what I was saying. So either I failed to say that or you failed to read what I wrote. Maybe the truth is a little bit of both. Then I said, for sure, dude, I get it. I guess I'm still caught up in the whole artifice of it. I don't spend much time on any platform. They don't give me what I want. And rather than spend a bunch of time on them fighting against them, I just do other stuff. But it is the case that I am here publishing stuff and playing some part in a game that is much bigger than myself. And I don't really engage with a whole lot, so my feed isn't really tuned. It's a mix of seemingly random stuff that is trending broadly and then a scattershot mix of stuff from people I do engage with. And yeah, I kind of took the bait. I did the very thing itself. I do not like becoming attuned to these media, but it is a matter of fact that these media, this one in particular, are a necessary tool, at least for now, in the building of the machine that I'm trying to build. I don't know, man, the internet sucks and I wish it didn't, but also there's awesome stuff here too, and even more awesome potential, question mark, question mark, question mark. Like, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm aware, and yeah, it is what it is. And then he comes back, I've been on the internet since the mid-90s. I was an early adopter. Ooh. What strikes me is that the conversation's grievances have been the same to new tech since that time. It's just plug and play, of course. McLuhan explained all this in the 50s and 60s. Also, the internet is just a medium that allows most people in all of human history to express their opinions to a large group of people. So what sucks about the internet, that it allows people to express their opinions. You know, even if people didn't express their opinions on the internet, you do know they still have opinions different than yours. This mindset expressed in your note is just so puzzling that I have no other way to address it but to mock it every April 1st. I feel like this every time I see this argument. Again, you're not repeating what I said, Matt. Like you're arguing against something that I didn't say. And then I responded, the thing that sucks about the internet is the way it changes you, the way it gets under your skin, the way it lulls you into this false belief that you're actually expressing yourself and that it actually matters. The fact that I think about the internet when I'm not on it, the fact that I get so easily distracted by something that I want to either complain about or champion, when all I was supposed to be doing was publishing something or emailing someone or some other simple task. The interface is too compelling, too alluring, but it's just a vampiric simulation. I've been on the internet since the 90s as well, but I usually don't get invested. I usually maintain a clear divide between myself and the reflection of that self that reveals itself to me in the internet. And that's it. And then I added a little coda. Sometimes you just got to let a motherfucker complain. And sometimes you just got to be the motherfucker doing the complaining. And then there's some other responses. Kier says, I love all the notes complaining about notes that complain about Substack. It's like the yappy dog, yappy owner death spiral. Yeah, I really don't get it. See my response to this note. Like, see my response to your response, Matt. Like, you're a fucking wiener. Like, at this point, I am invested. At this point, I'm annoyed that you're like engaging with the post that I made, but you're not actually engaging with what I said. Like, that is fucking annoying. Like, do better. Like, you've been on the internet since the mid-90s, right? As an early adopter. So, like, do better at it, because you're like, you've turned this into an argument. Like, this was me coming on and performing, being the fool. Like, I publicly put my foot in mouth while complaining about other people coming up here and putting their foot in their mouth. Like, I am well aware of this, of how what I did fails, and like how I'm being quote unquote part of the problem. But I'm also like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. Like, that's why I said sometimes you just got to let a motherfucker complain, and sometimes you just got to be the motherfucker doing the complaining. Like, I think that's it. Like, I think there is this like belief that you're engaging in expression and communication when you come on social media platforms. And I do think there's a way to go about like a more robust type, or at least a more robust attempt at communication in the form of like longer essays, longer posts, and like the podcast episodes I do. Like, I think that's a more genuine try at communication. And then these notes are like, yeah, just random idle chatter. So in doing idle chatter that complains about idle chatter, like it is this, like it's the donkey that sucks its own dick. Like I'm well aware of that. And I think I made it clear, like, get good, dipshits. Like that's a meme, dude. Like that's me memeing about myself. And look, I accept the fact that I probably didn't do as good a job of expressing myself as I thought I did. I own my failure, but I think you also need to own your failure to actually understand what I'm saying, Matt. And look, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. And like I said, I think you're cool. I think that I have had a positive opinion of you. Just kind of what I can remember of seeing your name. So I think I probably agree with you on a lot of stuff. I think you would probably agree with me on a lot of stuff. I think you're probably a cool guy. But like right now, this morning, I'm mad at you. I'm invested in you because you're doing like this thing where you're taking something I said and you're turning it into something I didn't say. And then you're like saying, look how stupid that is. And it's like, well, hey, look, I agree that the first thing I said is stupid. And I also said, like, look, I'm about to say something stupid. And then I said the stupid thing. And then I memed on myself, like, get good, dipshits. Like, look, I get it. I get my failure. But you got to own your failure in this situation too, dude. And just be like, oh, wow, you're right. I misread what you said. Or instead of engaging with what you actually said, I engaged with my own pet peeve. But it doesn't fucking matter, dude. This is all bullshit. This is idle chatter. Like, this is a waste of fucking time. I'm doing this as procrastination from other things that I should be doing right now. Because like I'm libidinally invested in this right now for some reason, and it's fucking retarded. This is stupid. But I don't know. It's an example of the internet. It's an example of what happens on these platforms and in this media. And it sucks. Like you're turning it into like an argument. You're turning it into a situation to like own me. Like you are. That's what you're saying here in your post. You're like dunking on me. And that's annoying. That's gross. And it sucks that like that is what these mediums do to us. They put us in this oppositional, confrontational state of mind. Like your attunement when you come on here is to dunk on the guy, to score points, to be smarter, to be more unique than the other guy, or to be better than the other guy, or whatever. Like that's the problem. The problem is not that people have differing opinions, you fucking retard. That's not my fucking problem. The problem is that these platforms encourage this kind of zero-sum thinking. Now, you can say it's a moral failing on my part, and you could say, well, they don't do that to me. And, like, you provided evidence that that's not true. Like, you provided evidence by engaging in this confrontational way that you are also attuned to this media in this way. But I don't, like, I'm not going to be a stickler here. I don't give a shit. Like, this is not communication. Like, if I really wanted to have a conversation with you, I would not go about it in this way. I would, I don't know, DM you and be like, hey, man, we should have a conversation about this. Or I would read, I don't know, something you wrote and like actually engage. But here we're staying on the surface and we're just skating along. So it doesn't matter. But I'm libidinally invested. So I'm getting some enjoyment from complaining about you, Matt. And And yeah, and that's it. So, but I think I'm done now. So I hope you have a good day. And I'll see ya when I see ya. Peace.